look at some random plays, and we'll call it a day. Yeah, so some of you guys don't see it, man. Put in the comments one what will happen. When Riot gonna do something, bro? Those crypto miners are. We're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into that in the live stream. Okay, those crypto miners are ready to go. All right, they're ready to go, and we actually made. We actually made over. We actually got into CLSK. Bought some 52 conjure. We made a lot of money on some crypto miners last week, but and it's gonna continue. Okay, I got a lot to say about that too. But you guys are putting one, so we're the reason the Qs is gonna end up. First of all, it's not gonna stop right here. Okay, when have you ever seen something like that? And a triple top is if you think the triple top is gonna happen, look, man. Hey, I'm not here to say anything happen. I don't know. But the reason I believe the Qs is going to end up getting to 600 and above is because if you look at stocks, like first of all, what's pushing up the market is some of these random stocks. Okay, obviously Nvidia, obviously Netflix, um, and that's going to continue to happen. Okay, that's why Hims is going to get to 100. That's why Robinhood is going to continue to get to 120 plus. That's why smaller caps are going to continue to get money thrown inside of them because the risk is less and the reward is much higher, and you possibly have rate cuts coming in as well. But also, the Qs is sitting at almost all-time highs. It's $10 away from all-time highs. And guess what the largest percentage weight of the Qs is? It's Apple. And Apple is like $60 from all-time highs. Okay, so once Apple gets started, once Apple gets going, which it will, okay, Apple will start going and it'll just start pushing and pushing, and you'll be like, wow, okay, it's gonna happen. And if you're in the Discord, you know what we entered into, and you know all you have to do is be patient. Apple's gonna start going. The only thing that's holding back Apple is Trump tariffs, which if you haven't noticed already, the things Trump says they always don't play out. Okay, so if you've been betting on tariffs staying around, yada yada yada, you've been getting cooked and you've been wrong because that's not how Trump operates. Okay, Trump is going to take off every single tariff and every single bad news. And what's wrong with Apple right now is that they're making things in India and yada yada yada. But that stuff is going to get fixed. And are you going to buy the fear, or are you going to wait until it pumps $50 and buy when it's already pumping, when people already knew that he was going to take that off? It's up to you. But Apple is $60 from all time highs. You have Google, which is literally like $30 from all time highs. These are stocks that are highly weighted in the Nasdaq, and the Nasdaq is almost at all time highs. But these main stocks aren't even close. Google is sitting like $40 from all time highs, and Google is a giant in AI, and it's about to start pushing. Like we can look at like this is insane. This is insane what Google is about to do. Like this is a setup that you just do not short regardless. Okay, this is about to head to 182. We can say this is a cup and handle. We can say this is a flag. We can say a bunch of things that this is very bullish. Okay, I'm just gonna stay on the topic of why the Qs is gonna end up getting a 600 plus, but this looks incredible. So you have Apple, you have Google, huge stocks that are weighted in the Nasdaq. You have Amazon. Okay, so you got to ask yourself, do you you got to ask yourself, man, is the Qs really going to stop out right there? Have the biggest stocks in the world topped out? That's up to you. That's up to you to decipher. But I believe we're going to end up getting a massive, massive rally, kind of like what we've already been seeing. Okay, we've been making a whole lot of money April, June, or April, May, and now we're going to see a whole lot more in June, July, to probably the end of the year. But what comes after that is we'll talk about that later. But yeah. Anyways, put in the comments what stocks you guys want to see. That's why the Qs is going to end up going absolutely nuclear because the main stocks haven't even started going. Okay, the main stocks haven't even started going. So people, Airbnb. All right. Let's look at Microsoft because I saw some Microsofts in here. The stock that I see the most of, I'm gonna look at now. Microsoft, I don't even want to look at so because come on, man, this is gone. This is gonna end up testing 505. Um, yeah, the time to get into this was when we talked about it when it down here when it went above 420, and this is gonna end up going to 500 plus. huge hidden bullish divergence on a weekly time frame. Okay, that was the main thing we're looking at when it was down here, and it's gone. It's gone. I mean, it's gonna continue to go to the upside, but it's just inching upwards now. There's no huge move, and nah, I think there's better plays out there. Best chance for upside. I like Apple. I think Apple could get to 300 plus. Google is probably the most obvious one, but Apple has probably the most reward. Um, let's look at Tesla. You guys keep asking about Tesla, man. Let's look at Tesla. All right, Tesla's very interesting because they got the whole Elon beef, etc. Okay, you guys know this Elon beef. So this is one that is now retested this 274 level. Okay, so it's there's no reason to be bearish on this until it can fall back below 274. A lot of people learn that lesson the hard way when they tried shorting it below 274, which was a massive bounce area. Like this is how massive the bounce area was for it. Okay, this it dates back to April. Okay, all you had to do was come in here and do this. That's all you had to do, and then come over here, get the little green line, and be like, oh, it should bounce right here, and voila, it bounced right there. So don't short it until or don't be bearish on it. You could obviously get some short moves come Monday, Tuesday, but don't be completely bearish on it until it goes below 271, 274, around that level. Okay, so that's the main thing. In the in the bigger picture, you definitely like this is one that like we can look at rejections for it. And obviously, like this is why the fibs are so important. This is how I get my levels. I keep it very easy, and then the rest is just psychology. You got to understand how the market is gonna move. You got to understand, the motives of people, etc. But the resistances, the supports, this is supposed to be very easy stuff. Okay, TA is never supposed to be hard. The hardest part is trying to learn the actual psychology of it and figuring out the ins and out of how people think, because ultimately the price action is going to do one thing. Like this is psychology. Okay, TA is easy. Don't overcomplicate anything. TA, I'm just letting you know. But until this can get back above 303, I that's the main level for the upside. Don't be overly bullish until it can get back above 303. Above 303, then you have some more price targets that you could be looking out for, um, like 311. But this is in a tricky spot. I do think like if I had to say if it's bullish or bearish, I would say bullish just because we are in a massive bull market, and come on, it's Tesla. But yeah, there's no reason to be bearish on this and believing it's gonna get to $100 until you get some weekly close below 271, 274. Okay, so that's the main thing. Um, and watch it above 30. 303 is where it gets bullish. Okay, 303, 304. And that was just an easy setup that I just showed you. And then 311. Once it gets above 311, that's when you should then know that, oh, this is back bullish. It's probably more likely than not gonna retest the high that it had back here before the Elon Trump news, yada yada yada. But I'm telling you guys right now, okay. And I'm actually gonna show you guys something that I just saw, something else that's actually very bullish. So I'm bullish on Tesla, but I tell you guys time and time again, don't believe what Trump is literally just trying to buy the dip. Okay, he has one thing in mind: is make as much money as he can during his presidency as possible. Okay, and if you haven't figured that out through the 6 months that he's been in there, you're behind. This is all he's trying to do. He's trying to put out meme coins that he can extract billions of dollars from, and then he's trying to crash the market by by putting on some fake tariffs. Like these aren't even real tariffs. Okay, he don't plan to go through with these tariffs. And then he plans to buy the dip with all the money that he made, and then just rinse and repeat. So with Tesla, he got some fake beef with Elon. So I don't anticipate that beef to last long. I think it'll get resolved, and I think Tesla will, probably put in some new highs. We'll see, but I'm seeing some hidden bull divergence. Okay, on a 4-hour time frame. So, you know, very 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 bullish stuff. The RSI is reset to the 220 level, but now it's sitting at 295. So very bullish. Um, and I like it above 303. Anyways, let's move on. Let's move on. Trump is an actor, exactly. Like don't get into other people's beef. The best thing that you can do during this time is make as much money as you can. That's the best thing that you can do. Okay, don't don't suck yourself into anything they got going on. Okay, don't even be like think from an outside perspective. Okay, I promise you. in the Trump era, in these next 3 to 4 years, you're gonna make so much money if you think of an outside perspective. Okay, just like with the tariffs. Like I came on here 2 weeks or 2 months ago, telling you, bro, please buy the dip, man. These tariffs aren't. You really think these tariffs gonna stay, bro? And voila, we're back at all-time highs when people were talking about a recession, bro. So ride up 1% in night trading after a 9.5% day. Yeah, crypto miners are ready to go. But anyway, let's move on. Yeah, I love Trump. Trump markets are goats. He got the goated market. Trump has a goated market. What BA doing? Let's look at BA. BA is incredible. Okay, BA is absolutely incredible. This is one that we've been paying attention to for a while. We cooked up on it. If you guys remember, we got into some calls in April, like the 210s for those cooked up over 400% on them. But now I actually want to get into some even further out BA calls because this is about to blow. And I tell you guys this all the time. I'm only gonna spend a few minutes on this and then we're gonna move on because this one's a layup. Okay, this is a practice line. We're in the practice line, running toward the goal and getting a layup. And some of you guys trip on your own feet, so you know you probably won't even. You probably you're not even gonna make the layup. You're gonna get some weekly calls. You're gonna get some week. You're gonna think I'm talking about some weekly calls on BA. You're gonna think I'm talking about 2 weeks out on BA. And you gonna run towards the goal, or you gonna trip on your feet. Okay, the layup right now for BA is getting some further out calls. Okay, maybe like some Octobers or Novembers. But if you guys remember what happened last time when Trump was in office, um, what was it 2016, 2017? It literally this is what happened. Okay, this is what happened. Trump loves BA. BA was at the conference that he had a while ago with like investments in QTAR or something like that. He loves BA. So if Trump loves BA, you best believe BA is more likely than not going to go up. He probably has a lot of money in BA, so he wants it to go up. And BA looks incredible. The main thing to pay attention to for BA is just it getting above 214, which it looks like it will. It just retested. It gave you an amazing dip. And the funny thing is, I had these levels up before, any of this even happens. Okay, and I get these levels by literally just showing you what I did with the fibs. That's it. That's it, bro. That's it. And then plotting on when a good entry is. That's it. That's all I do. Okay. That's the look. That's all I do. This came down to the buying rate. That's all I do, bro. That's all I do. But yeah, I mean, this is clearly getting bought up, and people are loving this fall down, this $4 or $5 fall down. It's gonna get bought up. It's gonna blast above 214, 215, and that's the main level to be looking at. Okay, and the reason I say that is because if you look at the high that it had back in December 2023, you draw it down. That was the biggest level. Okay, meaning as soon as it starts breaking above 214, you should now anticipate this retesting this high and possibly getting to 350. Okay? So BA above 215, it gets explosive. It gets very, very, very bullish because then now people know that the rejection is done. The high above here could be taken out, etc. Okay? It gets very bullish. Like I could come over here and do another price target. Let me see. Yeah, like 265. Like it's gonna get explosive above 215. Mark my words. Anyways, let's move on. Put in the comments what other stocks you guys want to look at. Do you have any realistic expectation on how SPY fit? We just talked about it. We talked about it. You missed it. But the good news is I am uploading this on YouTube. Okay, that's the good news. And if you follow the Twitter, same name that I have on here, you can follow the Twitter, and I'll probably talk about it on there too. But we talked about it already. We looked at Tesla. Yeah, some of you guys are late. Some of you guys are late, man. Crocs. That's the only ticker I see. You gotta look at Crocs. Gotta look at Crocs. Gotta look. Hold on now. Small cap too. I'm seeing some good things for Crocs, especially right here. I'm into like. Let me show you this, bro. I don't even know. Look, man. This is the first time I'm doing it. Let's just see. Let's just see if my theory is. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it just works. Okay, I drew it from the bottom. Like I gave you the game plan, man. This is all that I do. I come on here, I do this. Now I'm like, oh, this is a really good dip buy, especially because it went all the way down to April, and you got the top already in May. So just a perfect dip buy area. the risk to reward on a trade like this, and it even has some hidden bull divergence that was happening right here. Like the RSI is reset. This is making a higher high that you see. I'm teaching you guys today, man. I'm teaching y'all today, man. I'm teaching y'all today, man. I need some golf. I need some poetry snaps in here, man. The 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 lower high or the higher low that it's making right here and the lower low that it made right here, the RSI is reset to a $92 level, but this is still sitting above $100. Very this is the RSI is actually reset to like 90, 87 dollar levels. Now I don't know the option contracts and how they move, but this looks like a great play above $100. The risk to reward is easy. You can get some July calls. Okay, you can get some July 105 calls probably. I don't know the open interest on them. I don't know the spread on them, but you can probably get those. And then all you have to do is stop out if you get a weekly close below $100. Look, man, it's that easy sometimes. It really is. Um, I like it. I'll be looking at like a 113 reject maybe, or like you know, it looks good. I like it right here. I like it right here. I don't know too much about Crocs, so I'm not gonna spend too much time on it, but it looks good. I'm late. We already looked at Tesla, bro. We can't look at Tesla again. We can't look at Tesla again. Let's look at Starbucks because I think Starbucks is a really good one. I see XYZ. I see SoFi. We definitely got to look at those. I plan on being live for a little bit. I plan on being live for a little bit. The Thunder game is on though. I gotta watch the Thunder game, the second half at least. But all right. So for Starbucks, if you guys are in the Discord, we cooked up on Starbucks by the way. Like Starbucks went absolutely crazy. We got in I think a week or two ago, and those contracts are up 100, 200%. They're going crazy. And the thing that I like most about Starbucks is the fact that every single time it has these consolidation zones like you see right here, like you saw right here, it made a higher low, or it made a low right here, and then again right here it had all this consolidation, then it made a higher low, and then again right here it had all this consolidation, then a higher low. So that is absolutely beautiful, and it tells me. And what usually happens after that is a massive pump, like the past two times. Because right now, Starbucks is mainly just in a consolidation period. Okay, that's mainly just what it's in. So what you can anticipate is that as long as it stays above $84, which it looks like it will. Okay, this is a strong weekly candle that we profited on, by the way, man. Shout out to you guys if you got in. But as soon as this gets above $90.52, that's when you should start seeing this really kicking off, and that's when you should know that it is much more bullish. Now, me personally, since we already profited on it and we already made money on it, I would be taking profits, okay, and then I'd be seeing what it does at $90.52 because you could get a nice rejection. It depends on what the market is going to do. I'm just saying this is a big rejection zone for it, okay? $90.52. But once it gets above there, you then know that this is gonna start pushing towards $100+. So I'm just letting you know I'd be watching out for $90.52. But yeah, that's the main thing. And before the tariffs came out, this was actually cooking up a whole lot. Like this was Starbucks was 116, and then tariffs came out and punished it. But still looks good to me. It's just in a consolidation period. Like look at this. Look at this. It's doing this. It's doing the same thing. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, and then fool me three times. Like you getting fooled three times. Like nah, bro. Like this is more likely than not gonna come up, and we may even get a breakout. That's how bullish I think the market really is. Okay, I think we may even get a breakout on something like Starbucks. Okay, I like Starbucks a whole lot. I mean, look at this. You can't be bearish. I mean, you can be bearish on it. You can do whatever you want in the market. That's the beauty of it. But like right here, like this looks insane. And a lot of people would sit here and say this is a bear flag, but it's just not. It's simply not. Okay, it's simply not. Starbucks is a great company. Anyways, let's move on. Do you think the riots and the ICE situation in Los Angeles will affect the stock market? Look, I'm here to tell you. I'm here to tell you 50 times over again. None of that stuff matters. If anything, you'll get a nice dip, like the Elon and Trump stuff. Like don't put fear. Look, man. If you're getting feared in a very bullish market, you're not gonna do very well, especially right now. That happened with the tariff stuff. So many people got feared. People thought recession, yada yada yada. They came on here. What do you think the tariffs is gonna do? I said nothing. Buy the dip. People came on here, yo, Trump and Elon, what do you think? The market got a dip. I'm like, no, bro, buy the dip. Yo, bro, ICE, Los Angeles, what do you think is gonna happen? Nothing, bro. Buy the dip. Like nothing, nothing, bro. I'm here to tell you that nothing. Okay, nothing. I'm just look, man. Nothing, bro. Uh, not a chance. Nope, no. Let's look at SoFi because we got some people asking about SoFi, and this is probably the most important. This is a layup, okay? We're not gonna spend too much time on SoFi, but I'm here to because we look at SoFi so much, and this is probably one of the easiest plays that you can ever get into. And I think uh, what is it? Finance? It's called something, man. I don't know, but SoFi looks absolutely incredible. Uh, and the as soon as this gets above 1450, this thing is gonna accelerate, and it's already looking like it's gonna break above 1450. You can look at this, and I've seen this pattern so many times. It's gonna get above 1450. The volume is there, and it's already beginning. You can't stop what's about to happen now. Okay, 2 to 3 year long accumulation. You have distribution happening now, and then you're gonna get the first target, which is around 28, and then you're gonna get the second target, which is around $38. Okay, and it's only 14 right now. Contracts dirt cheap. Okay, the reason this is the exact same setup that so many stocks are seeing right now. Okay, some stocks some stocks went faster than others. Okay, like Robinhood. Palantir was actually the beginner. Okay, Palantir gave the blueprint to all these other stocks. Okay, what do you see? You have 2 to 3 year long accumulation right here. Then you have the distribution phase. You have the retesting of the distribution phase, and then you have just the rocket ship to the upside. Okay, this is the blueprint to a lot of the stocks that you're seeing right now, like Robinhood. We were saying this when Robinhood was $30 because we saw what happened with Palantir, and the same thing happened. You had a 2 to 3 year long accumulation. You had the blast off from the accumulation, then you had the retest, and then you had it go absolutely nuclear. First target went to the first target. Now it's about to touch the second target, and then the third target is around 120. So SoFi is the same sort of playbook in my opinion. I think the 2 to 3 long accumulation is going to play out, and then you have I mean, it's already happening. Like it's already happening. Like it's already happening, and it has weekly hidden bull divergence that's happening. Like it's already there. SoFi is one of my favorites. I think it's a layup, one of the easiest plays that you can get into. Great app, great company. They're doing good things, and they have the hype. Okay, which means a lot of people have eyes on it. That means it should accelerate fast, kind of like what you saw at HIMS. Okay, so when a stock has a lot of eyes on it, a lot of people know about it. Great setup, cheap, market cap little right now, contracts dirt cheap. That's just a recipe for something to blast off. And we're gonna like the funny thing is, I'm live often. Okay, if you guys been following me for a while, like that, I'm live often. And what happens is, you guys know what happens, bro. I'm not gonna toot my own horn or nothing, but you know what happens, bro. You know, we've seen it time and time again. We made enough money to know that. We made enough money. Not enough though. Nah, I'm just playing. We made some good money, but AI. I like AI. I'm not really gonna look at it too much. Like this isn't price action that I particularly like, but let me see. Watch. Yeah, until I like it above $30, and that's where it reject. I literally just showed you guys the blueprint of how I find, like, where I like. Look at that. You find the high of the candle on a weekly time frame, and then you just do this. So above $28 is where it gets fun, and then 34, above 34, that's when it's gonna end up going to the high of year, etc. So that's the main thing that I pay attention to. Um, but yeah, it's a small cap. It literally has a ticker AI, yada yada yada. Looks great, looks good. But yeah. Put in the comments other stocks you guys want to look at. We'll take a peek at them. I see some BBAI. Bro, Trina hasn't even agreed to anything. Google, UNH. We're not looking at UNH. We're not looking at UNH, bro. Let's look at Riot. Crypto miners are my favorite, or one of my favorite. I'm not gonna say they're my favorite, but they're one of my favorite things coming into June. and July, and I think it's time, man. I know I've said it time and time again, but I think it's time now. Like, why wouldn't it be time now? The main thing that I saw for crypto miners is the fact, and the crypto miners are dirt cheap right now. Okay, that's why I like them so much because look, we're you're we're so early. We're early right now, so you can even profit off of it. Like this is gonna go higher, so you can even profit off of it just going to $11, and then it can do what it does. but you're early right now. Okay, you were super early last week when we were getting in, but you're early again right now, so you can even profit off this. Taking a slight boost, but this may be the time it breaks out. I personally think so based on the strength that it was showing this week when Bitcoin and crypto weren't showing any strength. Okay, that shows that relative strength is what it's called. Okay, so Bitcoin was going down, but crypto miners were having a great week. Um, and you could and it was even doing that like this entire time. It was just consolidating. But this week on Riot, it had this extreme weekly candle. The only thing that needs to happen now is that it does get above $10.02. Okay, $10.02. That's the main thing that I would be paying attention to. That it gets above $10.02. Because once it gets above there, push to 11, push to 12. Once it gets above $12 and you got some strong holds, the fun starts. Okay, that's when we really know what's about to happen. So that's the main thing that I'm paying attention to. That this does gets back above 12.23, because then the money is going to rush into these, like a lot of small caps. Okay, the rate cuts haven't even happened, and rate cuts are 100% coming. Okay, they're coming. I don't know if it's gonna happen this week. I don't know if it's gonna happen this month. I don't know if it's gonna happen next month, but they're coming, and that's something that you can speculate on. That can move the markets in terms of people trying to front run that narrative. Will it? Maybe I think people are already doing it right now. They're trying to front run the rate cut narrative because once rate cuts come, uh, it could be buy the rumor right now and then sell the news when the rate cuts come out, and then we get that nice correction, and then we get that buy the dip area. But we'll have to see. But like I said, the main thing, if you get some candle closes above 12.23, the fun really starts. And even if we look at the total crypto market cap, okay, look at the total crypto market cap, and this is why Bitcoin is gonna end up going to 120K, 150K. Assets, high risk assets are gonna absolutely fly. Okay, I'm just letting you know. I'm just giving you a warning. It has massive hidden bull divergence that we've been paying attention to since it was down here in April, but also it is retesting is retesting the $3.15 trillion level that you see right here. Okay, it's staying above there, and guess how I found it? Hold on, I'm gonna just delete all this. I'm gonna add it back, but guess how I found it. Guess how I found it. I mean, I'm giving y'all the sauce, but I really don't care, like, cause like I said, the TA is the easy part. Okay, the hard part is actually executing. That's the hard part. Is executing what's in front of you. So this was a resistance turned as support. Okay, so we had the resistance. It blasted above. This is a strong weekly candle. This is what you want to see on weekly candles when you get a breakout from these big resistances. You want to see this. Okay, and then the next week, and then the next week, yada yada yada. But now it's a resistance turn and support. Okay, so now it's been holding above that level for 4 or 5 straight weeks. That's insane, insane. So I anticipate a push in crypto. When I don't know. Like some people, this is why patience is a big thing. But anyways, let's move on. Let's move on. I made money on CLSK. Oh yeah, man, come on, bro. If you guys are on the Discord, the link is in the bio. But I mean, we've been making money. People hate it when I show this, man, because they don't be making money and they just like, dang, bro, how can I? This was what, Friday? Yeah, bro. Thursday. We didn't miss, and that's what I mean. Like this is a dummies market, okay? And I'm real dumb. If this is a dummies market, I'm an idiot. I'm the dumbest dummy there is in the market. Cause I'm gonna get into the dumbest place. I'm gonna get into the dumbest place. Cause I know that's the type of market we're in. Like man, I would say the word I want to say, but TikTok gonna, I'm telling you, they gonna come on here and my live streams is gonna shut off. But yeah, I'm getting into some really stupid plays, but they all play out. They all play out, and you guys know that. If you're in the Discord, you've been taking what I've been putting out. You know that. You know that. Though I think the only thing we're waiting on is OKTA. But come on, and Apple. But come on, bro. Come on, man. Affirm is going absolutely crazy. Retarded. Oh shoot. Oh shoot. Um, but yeah, Affirm is one that is looking amazing as well. If you aren't in Affirm, Affirm looks great. Final target 107. This is gonna go crazy. Amazing. All right. Put in the comments what stocks you guys want to look at. Will CrowdStrike rebound? It always does. CrowdStrike is the biggest cybersecurity stock. This is a stock that is going to go probably to a trillion. Okay, and the reason I say that is because this is an aid in AI. That's actually a good point. I actually want to talk about that. And so, like OKTA, it goes along with OKTA. So, anything that is aiding AI is going to absolutely be a company that you want to 100% be invested in. Not with your money, but like with your like you believe in, you 100% believe in. Okay, AI is come on, bro. Come on, man. It's coming. It's already here, but it's gonna get even more advanced in the next 5 years. And cybersecurity, you're definitely gonna need that with all these deep fake videos that are gonna come out. And you're gonna need OKTA with authentication. You're gonna need a bunch of things that are very, very secure. Okay. Look at Guild. Look at Guild. Look at Guild. Bro, we looked at Guild. We looked at it, bro. It looks good. We looked at Tesla. We looked at Robinhood. Some of you guys are late, and I'm gonna put this out on. I'm gonna put this out on. I'm not gonna look at OKTA because it's just sitting in a consolidation buy zone. But yeah. EMPH. Not gonna look at EMPH. Hate it. But there's some things I want to say about it. But I won't this stream. Nvidia already gone. You guys are giving me stocks that are kind of already gone. Nvidia, we this is this is why you gotta follow Twitter, because I went on Twitter. I said, bro, Nvidia at $97 is a take out a loan in the bank and buy Nvidia. All right, my bad. Coin, OKLO. Let's look at Coin. Let's look at Coin because I think Coin is a very good one, and I think Coin is actually on a dip. And we made a whole lot of money on Coin this year, so we gotta look at Coin. Coin is. What did I tell you guys about about stocks that are doing this? 2 to 3 year long accumulation, break out from the distribution, and then you're getting a prolonged on this just because it's attached to crypto. But above 280, above 280 on Coinbase is the main level to pay attention to. Okay, above 280. What's happening right now that you're seeing is a reset of the RSI, but in the most bullish of ways. And I tell you that because look, Coinbase might even open up a lot. Like it may be up. I don't. I don't have the pre-market data on me or the aftermarket data on me, but this may already be up like $5, $10. Okay, the RSI on this is literally hidden bull diverging on a 4 hour time frame. This may even be a good trade coming into next week. Okay, like you could probably get into some weekly calls for this week and make some money. Hidden bull diverging on a 4 hour time frame. All it's been doing is following this trend where it gaps up, has some consolidation, gaps up, consolidation, gaps up, consolidation. The next gap up to me is loading, and I think it's going to be a big gap up because it has to break 280 with a lot of volume, with a lot of strength, because above 280, above 280, above 280, this has some big price targets to chase, which it will get to. Okay, you got it going to 400, 425. That's the first target. Some of you guys are like, bro, no way. Yes, wait. And then 670. Like I'm just gonna be conservative. Let me let me be conservative. I do think it could get there, but let me be conservative. Okay, let's just say 600 is the final target that I'm looking at. But let me show you guys another little cool trick. If you look at the if you look at, first of all, IPO prices are very, very important, especially when it IPOs and then it goes down and then consolidates for a little bit. When the IPO almost close to a bear market, like you saw in 2021, and like you're seeing now. Like a lot of stocks are IPOing right now, and they pump a whole lot. Okay, but there's going to be other stocks that IPO, during the later end of the bull market, and they're gonna dump a whole lot, you should be looking. That's a topic for a different day, but we'll talk about that. If you look at the fibs, this is how you end up. This is how you find nice price targets. Okay, look where I did it. I did it from the IPO price, the highest price point to the lowest price point, which is around here. Okay, um, and then you look, and then you look. So I obviously have 270, 280. That's a huge level. But then after that, you got the IPO price, and then you have 676, and then this could even get to 1,000. Okay, like even it could even get to like 1,400. I know you guys are like, no way, but this, but I know it's crazy. But those are very, very, very realistic price targets to be paying attention to. You can even look at something like PLTR, where people like I remember drawing up price targets on PLTR not too long ago, like back when this was like $30. Okay, and then you come over here, and I was like, it's definitely gonna get to $30, and 68, and then 100, and then I was like, it could even get to like 145, like it can even get to like 107. Back when it was like 30, 20, $30, and people were like, no way, no way. And then you look at what ended up happening is that it did get to those price targets. So especially with good companies, okay, you can't just do this on any random company. Got to be a good company. Coinbase is a great company. Um, so yeah, and you also have you you almost had some hidden bull divergence, okay, on a weekly. It might even be, but yeah. Before we move on, we got 120 people in here. Let's make sure we're following Twitter. The link is in the bio. Okay, I'm on here very often. If you aren't able to catch the lives, Twitter is the second best thing that you can get. Meaning, I update a lot of the stuff on there. All right, so at Wealth on Mars, make sure you guys follow Twitter. We're not gonna move on since we got 120 people on here. We need at least 3,800 followers. Okay, that's what we need. I'm on Threads. Oh my goodness, Debo. That's the only man. That's Debo. First message, man. Get a Twitter, bro. Get a Twitter, man. You're a grown man. You're a grown man still using MySpace. Yeah, I'm just gonna be quiet. I'm just staring at y'all, bro. Like imagine me on a stage. I'm just staring at y'all, my head tilted like to the left, like really, bro. That's what I'm doing, man. Cause the thing is, man, the Thunder game on. I got, what I'm saying. Like I got some things to take care of. I don't mind leaving. We found some great plays, PayPal, but I know there's a lot of other plays out there. I know there is. It's my first time seeing you live. Hey, shout out to you. Shout out to you. You found a great live, by the way. I think you lucked out. You lucked out. We gonna make you some money. G G G Plus. We're not looking at G Plus. Baba, like we haven't even looked at China, but like I said, man, if we don't get 100 and if we don't get 3,800 followers in 2 minutes, man, I gotta peace out. I have to. I have to at least like this. 30 likes on here is cool too. 30 likes on here and post some profits on here, and we'll cook up. Chicken, 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 chicken hack. You calling out China plays tomorrow? Hey, bro. We already did. We already did. We're already in something. We cooked up on Baba. Baba was over like a 200, 300% play on like Monday or Tuesday or something. I don't know what it was. Man, we've been making so much money in there. I think it should be a crime. It can't. It has to be a crime. Hey, you guys think I'm in here just joking around? You guys think like people really aren't making money with this option stuff, which is all right. That's cool. Probably people you mess with, but no, bro. Like we really are in here. Like I don't know how we're getting. I'm at the point where I'm like, is everybody making money? is, is every is everybody making money or just us? Like I'm I'm at, bro. There's no way. Everybody got to be making money. Everybody bought that dip in April, right? Wait a minute. Everybody bought the dip in May. Everybody bought the Trump. Everybody did that, right? But no, bro. No. Nobody. No. All right, let me refresh it. Ah man. Ah man. Dang. If you're in the Discord, I'll be in there. But we got the Thunder game on. I've been live for like an hour. Um, like I said, PayPal is probably one of my favorites. I'm trying